Every man has a toolbox. What was that? See, even Mittens agrees. Every man has a toolbox, and even I have one. Let's look inside Canadian Studmuffin's toolbox. I am not a handyman, and you'll see in the next few minutes the proof. I remember when my youngest son, Michael, was maybe about 6 years old, and he had a toolbox for children, but it was, you know, real tools. And his bike was not working properly, and so of course he was asking me to look at it and try and fix it or whatever. And of course, if it was needed some air in the tires, I could probably pump some air in the tires, because I know how to do that. But whatever was wrong with the bike, I just could not fix it. And Michael, my son, ended up fixing it with his toy toolbox. Didn't do much for my ego that day. Anyway, let's examine some of the things in my toolbox, and I'll try and explain what they are. This is a pencil. You know, my dad was an excellent handyman, carpenter. He knew it all. But when I was younger, I had no interest in carpentry or being any kind of a handyman or electrician or anything. I loved music too much. So, but my dad would have that. Maybe not quite as long there, but he'd have that in his ear, actually. But this pencil's been in the toolbox probably for at least the last 10 years. This is an X-Acto knife, and there's actually no blade in it. And I wouldn't know how to actually put a blade in it, because there's no instructions. These are wrenches. I've never understood why there's two ends. But I actually have used wrenches once in a blue moon to tighten things. I've tightened like pipes under a kitchen sink when there was a leak, and it's not like I'm completely stupid. I'm just stupid. This is a stapler gun, and I think I have used it once or twice to staple, but I have no idea how you open it to put... I think I bought staples for it, and I didn't know how to put the staples in because it's just too complicated for me. Yeah. Ah, this is the I have no idea what the hell this is. You see, I've been married twice, and both of my wives knew more than I did about being a handyman. I have no idea what is this? Maybe somebody can let me know. Looks like a... Ah, this is a putter? No, not putter. I'm thinking of golf. This is a yeah, I've done the walls. I think one time I put the stuff on the walls there, and you know, the putty, right? Putty. I don't know. This is a bag with something very important in it. Ah, you know what? This is king chain. It's galvanized. It's always important to have it galvanized. The ungalvanized is not as good. And is this for soldering. You know what? Years ago, because of course I was so obsessed with music, and my one speaker, one of the wires broke. I actually took my dad's soldering gun and I actually used it, and I didn't burn the house down, and I actually soldered a wire. I was quite impressed with myself. You know, you put the is it the silvery stuff, and then you, I don't want to get all technical with you. Ah. I'm gonna swear. What the fuck is this? It's like a paint thing. I'll show you the kind of frustrations I have with my life. See, I've got this drawer, this thing here. There's a latch, and I can't open it. There you go. It was so simple. This has been sitting in the toolbox for probably 15 years. This was for the weed whacker that we had, and I did use a weed whacker, and I used to replace the weed whacker with the thing, whatever you call this, but it's no good anymore. I might throw it in the garbage unless somebody wants to buy it off me. These are pliers. And you know what? These are really, really old. They might even be my dad's. Speaking of my dad, this is my dad's hammer. And yes, I have used it to like hang up pictures and whatever. And I've never gotten emotional over a hammer before, and I won't now. This is a leveler that I bought when I moved into this apartment to make sure when I hung up like pictures and what, that they were straight and that I'm level-headed. I always make sure I'm level-headed. So I've used this, but I've never understood. Ooh, it's got like cobwebs or something in it. Like I use this one, right? But I don't understand that one. It's really confusing. See, there's another thing I've got there with a thing on the end. This came in very handy. This was a 195 pieces household kit, which I don't think I've ever opened, but I bought it. I wonder if I can open it. Oh, that was easy to open. I've never understood what these are for. It's something to do with screws or something, right? So many women out there watching this are going to be so impressed with me. They'll want to date me right now. Then they've got all kinds of nails and screws in the bottom of the toolbox, which, I mean, they even bent screws. Oh, there's a staple, probably from the time I tried to put staples in that stapler gun and got all frustrated, and I ended up throwing the staple pieces and broke them all off. This is, I showed that one already, I think. No, it's a different one. I think I have used, it's like, you know, it's to get into hard places there, and you put it on the piping thing or whatever, and you rotate it left or right. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Something like that. This is an Allen key. See, I do know things about tools. There's different kinds of screwdrivers too. I'm really good at screwing. This is a... It's got the square head. It's a square head. Is that a square head? It's got like, yeah, it's square. So it's a square head. This is a screwdriver. I think it's a Phillips. Damn it, it's a Stanley. This is an adjustable wrench, which I have used. Look, so easy to use. Even an idiot could use it. This is another whatever. I'm sure glad I've kept this in my toolbox for the last 20 years. You never know when you're going to use it. Don't ask me, I don't know. This is a... Ooh! I use these at work, kind of similar. And I actually do know how to replace the blades and everything. I'm almost done. You never know when you're going to need a couple of buttons. Always keep those in your toolbox. Now, see, something like that just completely... screws my mind up. These things I've used, they're like a clamp thing, and then you would tighten them there. Yeah. I guess it's too late to try and impress you out there. Once again, you never know when you're gonna need a spring. Like this one will always be in my toolbox in case I need it. I have no idea where that came from, what you do with it, but I'll keep it in my toolbox just in case I do need it. And then there's this big hook thing. I don't know. So that's it. That's the Canadian Studmuffin toolbox. I hope I've impressed you with my knowledge of being a handyman. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Sorry, Dad.